By using this bootable drive, I am going to install Garuda Linux. Why and how coming up next. Past few decades, I am using Linux. Especially, there are many Linux variations, especially Debian family, Arch family, and RPM ones are my favorite. Past few years, I am using Arch-based distributions. Eventually, I found out I am not experienced enough to install Arch Linux from the base and maintain throughout the days. As Arch Linux provides latest and greatest updates, that means it gives you a feel to live on the edge. So there are few times you feel your system got broke. That is the reason why various Arch-based distributions came around. First Manjaro, then I found Garuda Linux. Especially the Garuda Dragonized version. It is very eye-catchy, polished, especially it provides some caring tools so that you do not broke your operating system. I will come to those later on. Let's see what are the other flavor of distribution Garuda provides. The same Dragonized version having gaming in mind, it provides out of the box Wine and various game related Windows API built in. Later you see GNOME, Garuda GNOME. It is like most suitable for GNOME users. Garuda Cinnamon. I like Cinnamon, that is because of the cups. No, not the drinking cup. It provides printer, scanner, and Shamba share out of the box. So I like Cinnamon. That means the Linux Mint. If any new user want to enjoy Linux, it's better to use Linux Mint. Shamba share, local Windows share, RDP works perfectly fine on those settings. XFC is the most lightweight version. SWA is much lighter, but there is a steep learning curve. i3, I know some of the chat users used to use i3 and more. Hyperland, same here. I found KDE Lite is the most stable one. And Nix subsystem. I'm new to Nix subsystem, so I am not going to comment on those. Garuda Cosmic, still new to me. Nowadays, I found Garuda Mocha having cappuccino flavor within it. KDE desktop environment built on it. So it becomes my favorite. After I have downloaded and installed on my other system, let me show you how the installation process goes and how it looks and feels. The system is around a month old and the system is running well. And practically, I liked this Garuda Mocha version much better than the previous one, which was Dragonized. Actually, Dragonized version provides some themes and color. Those are much eye-catchy, but it feels sometimes overwhelming. That is the reason why I like Garuda Mocha much better than the previous one. It gives you a smooth, calm feelings. So as you see, you can download from here, and let me tell you, if you are not having 30 GB of storage and like 4 GB of RAM, you should not install this one. But I am having a laptop with 2 GB of RAM and 32 GB of internal storage. I have successfully installed this one. It was not very much laggy, but if you want to search, but if you want to use browser on it, it will be very much slaggy. But if you want simple GTK application, if you want your terminal to work well, it will work just fine. Now let's discuss the bootable drive creation. Now let's discuss the bootable media creation tool. There are several tools available on each and every platform. If you are on Windows, you can use Rufus. If you are on Mac, you can use Balena HR. And if you are on Linux, you can use the DD command line tool. But the best one I found is Ventoy. On Linux, it is pretty much easy and straightforward installation. You just select and click the desired drive. After that, you just copy paste those ISOs. So that means you'll be able to have multiple bootable ISO in the same bootable drive. In my case, this is the one. Like I am having more than 30 bootable ISO on this thing. Later on, the next step would be to plug this device into your system like this one and reboot the system, and make sure to boot from the USB device. It generally takes F8 or F9, or even you can go to the BIOS or UEFI settings to select the desired boot option. This is my BIOS. and I'll have to go to the boot menu. By the way, nowadays it do not call as a BIOS. Nowadays something UEFI is the term you should call. See, I've selected BIOS. UEFI is the upgraded version of BIOS. Maybe that a thing, but using UEFI, there are several advantage. Like you can have secure boot, you can have TPM, those kind of security stuff. As you see, I have selected. This is the one Kingston 120 GB USB bootable drive. Let me save this one. I have successfully saved this one. Now, see, as I am using Ventoy right now, I forgot. I have totally removed all those like ISOs. Right now I'm having only two. I can boot into normal or group mode. I think normal mode will be sufficient enough. See here the Garuda Linux succeed. It enables the NVIDIA driver directly into the boot menu. Yes, I see it has started loading up the kernel. Right now it is running some kind of pre-mount hook. As this is the initial boot, it would take some time. It has detected my device drivers, so right now the resolution is much better. See, it has landed with full-blown operating system having full desktop experience, and it is Arch Linux. As you may know, installing Arch Linux is real hard. If you know what I mean, you need to be a well-known experienced Linux users. That is the reason why I choose Arch Linux distributions. So it is complaining about not having internet. It's nothing new. Let's select the country where you are from. Next, see, this is the main point. I don't want to mess this around because this is my working laptop. That means I do not daily drive on it, but sometimes I use it because there are multiple operating system on this. I don't want to miss the partition. See, replace a partition is a easy way to go, but remember, erase disk will erase your whole drive, and as you can see the current status and after status, it will delete all those partitions, and we can choose whether to have a swap with hibernation support. As of today, no one wants hibernation to be enabled because it consumes, like I'm having 32 GB of RAM, it will consume near about 32 GB, so I will not select this one. Manual partitioning, that is the way to go. Let's select next. See, I am having this drive as a FAT32 file system. As you may know, FAT32 is required because of this boot EFI partition. See, without this partition, you will not be able to boot into. So you need this one. Better to check boot over here. I want to format this one because the previous version of Linux was having some kind of entry over there, so it's better to format this. And as you see, I already have free space, some 52 GB. It will take around 12 to 13 GB to install the operating system along with all the needed softwares. So 52 GB is more than enough for me, as I will store all the files over other partition. And you see, I am having a Linux partition that will be a secure partition. I wonder if someday Linux gets much advanced so that if someone tries multiple password brute force attack, it gets automatically deleted. Right now, those like self-destructible file system is not ready enough. Let's select create. I want to create a partition. Better to keep Btrfs. It is sad to see like file system 4 is not listed over here. Mount point would be the root directory, that means the slash. Now, okay. See, I have selected two partition. One is for the root, another is for boot/EFI. Now click next. Now I am going to provide my name, the system name, super secure single key password, and see this check mark. Use the same password for the administrator account. What does it mean? It means the root user will have the same password as my own password. Next. See, this is the last and final click to begin the install. That's it. See, the installation has started. Now I have nothing to do. I will just sit and relax as the operating system gets installed by its own. Let me fast forward this section for you so that after the installation, I'll be able to show some more settings and tweaks about this operating system. See, the installation is done. Now I select restart now button and click on done. It will automatically restart and it will automatically boot into the new operating system installed on this system. So right now see the boot logo is coming up next. See how cool and nice the operating system is. I have noticed this piece of incompleteness over here, as the first time you will have to provide your username over there, then provide your super secure password. Second time onwards, it picks up your dedicated user, that means the last login one. See, each and every operating system needs updates. In case of Windows, you are logged up, they decide whether to update or not and when. But in case of other Linux operating system, it's fine if you do not update your operating system in 2 years, in 5 years, it is fine. Some people may say like there is a security issue. There is no security issue. If you use a simple firewall, that's it, and you don't go some sketchy websites and you don't install untrusted software, you are pretty much good to go. But in case of Arch or Arch based operating systems, that means Manjaro, Garuda, those kind of operating system, you must install updates because you will be stuck for that base. As in future, if you want to install another system, another software, it will have a dependency issue. So it's better to have regular update for your Arch based distribution. To update on basic Arch, it is quite hard, but in case of Garuda Linux, they provide a simple updating tool and maintenance tool like Garuda update. You go to the terminal, type sudo garuda-update, that's it. After the initial boot, I have got this Garuda setup assistant. It is a great piece of software. Before I continue to use Garuda setup assistant, let me connect with the internet. Now internet is connected. Let's now proceed with the setup assistant. It will ask for a password. Let me put mine. See, let me increase the font size so that it gets more visible. See, there are various update providers out there, and it is clever enough to understand the nearest and best performing ones. See, the keyring is updated. Pretty much each and everything is automated. See, it will download near about 1.5 GB and the total installed size would be around 4 GB. But here is the catch. The new update size is only 27 MB. See the difference from deb packages, like there are various orphan packages, there is like sudo apt auto remove. There is nothing like this on Arch based distributions, and Arch family like this one is very sophisticated, automated, updated. Each and every positive word I can think of, all they are, and it gives a pretty much cool vibe when you get multiple simultaneous download happening simultaneously. It's just wow. Next we will encounter another step to collect all the day-to-day usable softwares. That means this setup assistant will provide a list of common softwares. You can pick and choose those softwares and continue your installation. Right now, the update may take a while, so I will fast forward this one. The update is going pretty much fine. It's around 12 to 13 Mbps, which is pretty much good, I think. That means more than 120 Mbps speed. Meanwhile, let me tell you some secrets about this piece of distribution. Like it provides butterface and snapshot functionality out of the box. That means if you break something, you can revert back to the previous working condition. That means you are using a sharp sword, but you are free to move around, like it will not cut or bend your hand. Finally, the system update is done. Now it's asking for a reboot, but I think I will reboot later on after installing some day-to-day using softwares. Like see this one, this assistant is asking to install for additional softwares like Asian Font, Software Centers, App Image Launcher. This one is very useful and must for me. That is the reason why. Another thing is Octopi. I must have Octopi. I think Octopi is already there. See, Octopi is already installed. I'm not sure why the checkmark is not showing over here. Kernel. I have tried installing Linux LTS failsafe option, but unable to boot without using the failsafe. So I don't want to install any other thing. Virtualization, VirtualBox. I can install later on. Visual Studio multiple version, like one is proprietary, another is open source version. I would install later on. But one thing I remember, like other under the other DroidCam and under the internet FDM. FDM is the best tool to download from the internet, whatever it is, torrent, direct download, no matter what. Let's proceed with those two. I see it has not included the Linux headers, especially for the DroidCam to be set up properly. It needs to build the kernel again, especially for the DKMS part. This one, let me see if I can increase the file font size. Yes, I'm not sure if it has successfully installed the Linux headers or not. Let me see from the Octopi if Linux headers is properly installed. Linux, it is not installed. I'll have to install it manually from here. Let me show you some other important tools. It is under maintenance. See, the update system is showing as pending, but see this update system, we can start the update system from here. Clean cache. I know there is nothing on the cache right now, as this is a fresh installation. Create clear orphans. Refresh mirror BTRFS assistant. See, this one is very important. You can see all the subvolumes from here. Snapper tool, when what snap it took, snapper settings, btrfs assistant. So those are tools is very useful. See, I'm having like 52 GB. It is showing only 13 GB allocated. See how efficient it is. No balance is running right now. I can start balancing, but I don't think balancing would be much beneficiary for now. See, merging pack diff files is very hard, but from here you just click here and all those are taken care automatically. Now I have successfully installed the operating system. It feels very light and snappy. Let me show you some special things like installing closed source systems like Google Chrome. Each and every one of us use Google Chrome. We don't use Chromium or we don't use ungoogled Chrome. We use Google Chrome as each and every other person is using. So we are bound to use that. Google Chrome. See, this one is the Google Chrome. Installing Google Chrome is so easy over here. You just install. It's better not to use GNOME keyring. I don't like it. So I will proceed without the GNOME keyring. Now let's click on yes. It will start downloading and installing. It is much easier than on Windows. Each and every software, like I remember installing Z, the code editor, like a year ago. It installed like a charm, while that editor was specially distributed only for the Mac users. Later on they started providing on other Linux distributions. So that was today's topic, installing Arch based Garuda Linux, having specially Garuda Mocha